3905 Century Club Net monthly board meeting. We will start with roll call, beginning with the first call area.
Present.
I see you. Good evening. Good evening, Fred.
Good evening, Joe.
Thank you. Yes. Second call area, Peter.
And Peter, N2XTT present. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. You're 5'9" in California.
Yeah.
How about 2-1?
The third call area. And the fourth.
AE4NT and the preeminent WF4H.
Okay, good evening, Ben, and good evening, Dwight. Fifth call area.
Fifth area is present.
Okay, I got you, Clay. Good evening. And the sixth call area is here. The seventh call area. And the eighth, I see you, Ralph.
Present.
Thank you. Ninth call area.
Here.
Okay, good evening, Raj. And the zero, the 10 call area. And moving on to DX. I saw the hand wave. Craig, good evening. And the president.
Present.
And the vice president.
Present.
And do we have the treasurer? Whiskey Sierra. And last but not least, the secretary, WU2T. Good evening, Rusty. And let's get started. The first are the minutes from the August 8th regular board meeting. Motion made by Rusty. Do we have any seconds?
Second.
Ralph is second. Is there any discussion? This computer screen of mine is something else tonight. Bear with me, please. Well, it seems to want to flip between a small screen and a half a screen. But anyway, no discussion. I'll go ahead with the vote. First call area.
Approve.
Minutes. Okay, thank you. Call area 2.
I wasn't paying attention. I was doing something else. This is for the minutes.
Yes, it is, Peter.
Approved.
Thank you. Third call area. Fourth call area.
Approve.
Thank you. Fifth call area.
Approved.
The sixth call area approved. 7. Eighth call area.
Eighth call area approves.
Okay. 9.
Approve.
And I see Ray and Deb, 1S, just showed up on my screen. Ray, would you like to vote on the motion to approve the minutes?
Yes, the 10th area approves.
Okay, and I'll mark you in attendance. WB
Thank you.
PYF. Okay, very good. Thanks, Ray. DX. Okay, I see your pop-up message to abstain. And President.
Approve.
Okay, and Vice President.
Approve.
Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 approving and 1 abstain on the minutes. So the motion carries to approve the minutes. Next up are the financial statements as submitted by the treasurer, Gary, K9 Golf Whiskey Sierra. Do we have a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, you're too fast for me. Who seconded?
Second, Peter.
Peter. Okay, thank you, Peter. Is there any discussion on the financials this month? Okay, I'll go ahead with the roll call. One call area.
Approve.
Okay. Second,
Approve.
third, fourth,
Approve.
fifth,
Approve.
sixth area approves. Seven, nothing. Eight call area.
Eighth call area approves.
Okay. Thank you, Ralph. Nine.
Approve.
Okay. 10.
Approve.
DX.
Craig approved.
Okay. You're approving, Craig?
His pop-up show approved.
Okay. Thank you. And the president
Approve.
and vice president.
Approve.
Okay, great. Next is the committee report. We only had one this month from the awards committee. That was sent out in a separate email. Is there any questions about it? Okay, I see you had a record-breaking month in August, Ben, so I'll just say keep up the good work. And
Thank you.
we will move right along. Is there any old business? I'm showing none. And under new business, we have motion 09-2020-1 by Ralph, KG8WL, the 8th call area. The 8th call area director that motion 5/5/2016 be rescinded, and that section 4B of the bylaws return to the wording used prior to the passage of motion 5/5/2016. And do we have a second on that? I will ask one more time. Is there a second on motion number 09-2020-1? I'm in new territory here, but if we don't have a second, that means that we cannot bring it to a vote this month. So the motion basically was not approved. Next item is motion 09-2020 number 2 by Dean Davis, the president, November 7 XG, to reclassify the 3905 Century Club officers. And please note that since this involves a change to the Constitution, we can only make a motion and second it, and then at that point, the motion becomes tabled to next month after the motion has been read on the nets, I believe, for 3 weeks. And then the final vote will come at the October board meeting. I hope I got everything right. Did I miss anything, Dean?
The initial motion will be approved at the October board meeting, and then the final approval will be at the November board meeting.
Okay, thank you.
I think I got that right, yeah.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. And we have 30 days to work with this anyway. But with that said, I have a motion by Dean Davis. Is anyone going to second?
I will.
First area.
I need to make a comment.
Okay, I'll let you have the floor, Ben. Let me get the second in first, and then I'll turn it over to you.
All right. First of all, the entire motion is not read on the nets. The indication that the motion exists on the website in a place where all members can access it will be announced on the nets. That's the way the motion that amended the Constitution reads. Secondly, I'm not certain about the timing Dean just mentioned with the final approval being in November. If the reading of the constitutional amendment is done for 3 weeks in September, before the October meeting, we can vote on finalizing the whole thing in October.
I got it wrong. You're right, Ben. Yep, going back, as it takes place the 1st of November.
Right, the implementation.
Right.
Will be first
Yep.
of November.
Sorry about that.
Okay, then we're cool.
Yep.
Ben seconded.
Oh, Ben seconded?
I did too.
So did DX.
I think Fred was the one that initially seconded it.
I will go ahead and put Fred down
Fine.
for the record.
Whoever.
Yep.
Is there any discussion on this?
Comment.
Go ahead, Ralph.
You confused me there on the voting before the end of October. Oh, okay, I'm gonna have to think a minute on that. The other question is, we're just voting on the first half of your motion one, Dean, is that correct?
No, we're basically voting to proceed, and proceeding basically is allowing us to publish on the website the motion and reading it on nets for 3 weeks prior to the next meeting.
So you're considering that whole package a single motion? I don't think we've ever had a situation where we amended the Constitution and the bylaws in a single motion. Seems a little bit out of order to say that we're going to amend the bylaws, and by the way, we're going to amend the Constitution while we're doing it.
So the wording here is, in this procedure, is accomplishing the objectives require 2 separate but irrelated motions. One to amend the bylaws and one to amend the Constitution. The Constitution is amended by motion 04-2016-02, and it requires that proposed amendments be moved and seconded and then tabled at a meeting of the board, then read on each club's phone nets for 3 weeks prior to presentation to the board for a binding vote. Passage requires 2/3 majority of the entire board. That's the current wording in our documents. Unlike the simple majority of directors present required. So what this is going to be pushed to the October board meeting, and we'll vote on the whole package.
Okay, so we're not voting on either at this time.
Right.
Right.
So, yeah, basically this was a vote to proceed that will allow us, me, if you want to put it, to instruct the next net coordinators that for 3 weeks for the next 3 weeks that we will announce this motion so that we can bring it to the October board meeting.
Okay.
Comment.
It will also, let me say one other thing, it will also allow the board to provide additional feedback on this motion if, as we review it, we need to make corrections. So we have the liberty of being able to at least correct the bylaw portion of this before the next meeting.
Comment.
Go ahead, Peter.
Rusty asked who got Who seconded? And it was Ben. Rusty, hear me?
Well, we had a three-way second on it. Ben, Craig, and Fred. And I thought I made the comment that for the record, we'll put down Fred since he seemed to be first.
Done.
Okay.
Comment, ROG.
Are there any other comments with respect to motion 09-2020-2?
Comment, ROG.
Go ahead, Raj.
So Dean, you have how many officers in your motion?
16?
16. Okay, so once we vote on what we're going to vote on right now, that's it. That will never change.
We're not voting on anything tonight, Roger. There is no vote tonight.
No, okay. We're voting that the NCSs for 3 weeks can say their spiel on the nets.
We are not voting tonight. We are following our procedure that this motion be brought to the board and get seconded and automatically tabled until the next board meeting.
Okay, your motion that there's 17 or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Okay. I'd like a motion to table this before the vote. Because
It is.
No. I want to table this motion because I do not agree with it. I think there should be more officers. I don't agree with your number, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I think, and my area thinks, the majority of my area thinks the assistant directors should be included in the officers.
Okay. I'll offer this. I'll offer that we have almost a month before this is going to come up again. I have no problems with having another open discussion to get this right. Let's say that sometime during the week of September 21st.
That's fine with me, but so what are we doing right now for this motion?
Right now we're just talking.
Okay.
There's no more business during this board meeting for this motion. It got presented and seconded, and that by seconding, it automatically got tabled until the October meeting, automatically.
Okay, well, unfortunately, no one asked for comments prior to the second. So we could discuss this before the seconded.
I've got no problem with that.
Okay, well, right now, I want to challenge your number prior to the second.
So okay.
Okay, so
Can I say something?
yeah, go ahead.
Well, Roger, it sounds like that you wanted Joe to present the motion, ask about a discussion, and at that point, you wanted to put another motion on the table to delay this so that it didn't get seconded?
Yes. So there could be more discussion.
Okay. I understand. I don't know what the right thing to do at this point is.
I mean, if we second this right now, then there will be no more discussion as to the number of officers, correct?
No.
Okay, well.
I thought we could change that.
We can.
Yeah, that was.
So there will be more discussion.
Oh, yeah,
on
yeah,
the-
yeah. Yes.
Okay.
There will be more discussion. The number is not set in concrete. It's just, and it can get voted down. And we can have discussion between now and the next meeting and change the number if we want. Am I correct?
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, so what the NCSs are saying on the nets is just that there's a possibility of the Constitution and bylaws being changed?
So,
For what?
so the issue with publishing this is basically that we're going to make a constitutional change, and that constitutional change basically says that there will be a group of officers, and we strike the registered agent from that group of officers. We strike the awards managers from those call areas, and we have under item E, the 11 directors, and we clarify that each one of them have a vote. And then we go on to say in item B, other necessary functions, a club resident agent shall reside and provide the registered office in the state of Florida wherein the club is incorporated. And it goes on with the statutes. So there's nothing about that. It's the bylaws that is going to be reclassifying the you call them non-essential, call them non-whatever, but the assistant directors, the awards managers, the bureau managers, all these other people into a VIP kind of a status, and that's the essence of this package.
Right.
So again, the implementation of club officers was made in the bylaws, not in the Constitution.
Okay. I understand that.
Dean, isn't the point of this is the officers are elected by the membership?
Yeah, you know, when we talked about this last year, the idea that I had was basically that we have a small group of officers that kind of align with the corporation, okay? And like when we do our filing in Florida, you know, we're supposed to list our officers. And the last thing in the world I want to do is provide 215 names.
I agree.
Yeah. So basically, this is basically we said it's the officers that got voted, and included in that is the chairman of the board, the secretary, and the treasurer, and the award secretary, and those are the people that are really providing the authority and implementation of the club. That was the plan. It wasn't, and there's nothing in this that is trying to demote anybody or degrade anybody. It's just basically it's kind of an alignment. And when I did my research, I mean, I'd only been in the club for a short period of time when they passed the motion to make this in 2002, and I can't find any documentation as to why the board of directors decided they wanted to do that. But and then the other thing is, and I hate to bring this up again, but remember when we went through with a liability thing?
Yeah.
And it was a mess.
Yeah.
And this kind of fixes it. Not completely, but it kind of fixes it. It lets our net control stations and our people that are doing the day-to-day stuff do their job. Anyway. But I'm open. I'm open to, like I said, my offer is that the week of the 21st, I can surely set up another Zoom meeting, and I've already got a couple of comments that we need to fix anyway. So it might be a good idea that we have another discussion group, and we kind of hammer this thing out where we can get into some kind of agreement.
And do we have to let the Nets post that for 3 weeks before we vote on it with the changes?
Yes. Oh, no, we're not well, I'm not sure you guys want to change, the Constitution. What we're talking about is we're talking about bylaw changes from what I've seen. Now, if anybody's got any suggestions for what we've done with the Constitution, then perhaps when we get to the October meeting, we'll have to table it again because we'll need to do another 3 weeks with it, with the membership if we make changes. I think I got that right, Ben, didn't I? If we change that motion, we're going to.
Right, but I think you're all over the map, and people are getting confused right and left here. There are two components to the thing. One is the Constitution. That's what's going to be subject to the 3-week rule, where we point to, on the nets, we announce that on the website there is a document that purports to amend the Constitution. The other motion that actually describes the roles of all the officers amends the bylaws, and we don't vote on that until next month, regardless. This whole motion, both motions, if you want to consider them two, get automatically tabled this month. So we have an entire month to work on the bylaws part of it if we need to make any changes. The Constitution part has to be nailed down before it's posted on the website and read on the nets. So we need to have that right. But that is a very general thing, and it does not describe individual officerships. That's my take on it.
Yeah, sorry that I was all over the board, but yeah, you're right, Ben. So,
if I can make a comment, I did get a message from one of my constituents, and the question came up whether there be any effect on the club officers award. You know, the way it's worded now, you have to make contact with 6 of the area directors and then 25 other officers. And I have been told that there will be no effect on that award.
May I step in and ask here if anyone has actually read the 12 pages that Dean wrote? All of that is covered in there. The Officers Award will be retitled the Officers and VIP Award, and the individuals that qualify for inclusion as contacts in that award are spelled out in the context of the motion.
Thank you.
And they're still the same, right? Just different title. They'll be called VIP, but the award's going to be changed to Officer/VIP or whatever, right? So
yes.
Same thing.
Yes.
Obviously, you guys are hearing me now.
we are.
We are hearing you, Craig.
I had to go out to a different browser and come back in, but anyway.
Looks like it's cold up there. You got a jacket on.
It has been actually too cold this early, but anyway.
Done some of it down here, Craig.
Sorry guys, can I go back for a minute? When we table them, when we present a motion at a meeting like this, which we have, and it automatically gets tabled for till the next meeting. I thought we reverted back. I thought we got rid of that.
Craig, we basically have a constitutional duty to do this. So we're bound by the rule that I read in the Constitution for this one instance. Okay.
For the constitutional part of it, Dean, but
correct. That's all we're doing. Yeah, that's all we're doing. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. For the constitutional part of it, but not for the motion for the bylaws part of it.
Well,
that doesn't have to be tabled. That does not automatically get tabled for 4 weeks anymore. We changed that.
Right, but this is one motion, not two.
And
My motion.
Furthermore, the bylaws change in this case is consequential to what happens in the Constitution. So if we can't amend the Constitution, then we can't really amend the bylaws. So that's just being deferred as piggyback on the constitutional amendment.
I support it, by the way. This is just process, right?
Yes. And I don't know of any other place in the Constitution or the bylaws that require us to do this. So, and it's a little bit easier than it was before they changed it a couple of years ago. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Well, because I haven't been here for a while, I need to chat a little bit now. So to go back to the question that came, there will, even though for the bylaws and the amount of officers that are eligible or not eligible and all that stuff, there will be still ample opportunity for discussion on that. So as long as we're good there, hey, I think this is good.
Yeah, I think we need to do a little bit more tweaking on it. And like I said, I will set up a Zoom meeting for the week of the 21st, and that'll put us into, let's see, kind of the middle of the reading on the phone nets of the constitutional change. And I'm, like I said, I want to make this right. I don't want to make it as my legacy, but I want to make it right for the board.
Yep. So Rod, you're good with all that?
Yep, as long as we can talk about it, I'm good. I'm done.
Perfect.
Great. Any last comments before we go on?
Move to adjourn.
Okay,
Well,
real
that
good.
answers that question.
Oh, what was the question? Go ahead.
Has this been seconded?
What?
Yeah, there was a
thing.
two-way second on it, but Fred was first.
Okay.
Yeah, and Rusty raised the comment, but we have to do the motion and the second before we can discuss. So, we did follow, the proper order.
Okay.
Works for me.
So,
Good.
on that note, I will say thank you to everyone for attending tonight. It was a good meeting, and kind of you can just take a nice deep breath of air afterwards and just let it out slowly. But anyway, thank you to everyone who attended tonight.
Thank you, Joe. Great job. First Zoom meeting.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Joe.
If we could do this by radio, it'll be a lot better.
Keep propagation, Peter.
Yeah, we need lots of good propagation. I can hardly hear New York on 20 meters.